Hey guys, Ryan Soda here back again doing another movie review, and today we'll be reviewing Army of Darkness. Now, Army of Darkness is once again directed by Sam Raimi and features Bruce Campbell, and I forgot all the other actors' names. Okay, let me try to fix it a little bit. Okay, there we go. Wait. Sorry. Wait. Yeah, sorry about that. Alright, so, Army of Darkness. I'm not gonna get too much into the plot, but I'll just say a little bit, it picks up where Evil Dead 2 left off, where he ends up in the medieval times, and it's about him just trying to go back home, like going back to his other time, but in order to do that, he has to go to get the Necronomicon, but he has to say the spell to get the Necronomicon, but he says it wrongly, though, and so when he takes it, that raises an army of the undead that are trying to get the book, and it starts this whole war between the knights and the army of skeletons. So yeah, that's the whole plot of Army of Darkness. Very simple and very quick. And this is a very short movie too. Now, do I like Army of Darkness? Yeah, I like it. I'm not like one of those over-the-top fans of it who literally say like, oh, this is like one of the best horror movies, like this is the best Evil Dead movie, and I'm like, what? Like, why do you guys say that? Like, it's not even like that cool of a movie. Like, it's not even as cool as you guys say it is. I mean, no offense, but like, yeah, I've never really seen like why people like just really praise this movie. Like, some people really praise it. And there's even this one YouTuber I watch called Tyler Mitchell, and he literally says that this is one of his favorite movies and his favorite Evil Dead movie. And honestly, like, yeah, no offense, dude, I really don't see why though. Like, it's good, but it's not like one of the best movies. It's not like one of the best horror movies. I mean, it's a solid movie, but it's not a great movie in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, yeah, so I'm sorry if I'm upsetting you hardcore fans of this movie, but this is a good movie. It's not a great movie, you know? Now, but I will say this, Ash, he is easily the best part of this movie. Easily. Like, in each movie, Ash just gets cooler and cooler. And in this movie, he is a literal badass. Like, he's fucking awesome in this movie. Like, Ash, this is where we see his full personality that he gets in the Ash vs. Evil Dead TV show. Like, this is where we get his full-on dope personality that he has, his cocky personality, his mean personality, you know, like his playboy personality, that Ash, yeah. So like, it's not the Ash from the first two movies. He literally gets more and more different, but here he's just so dope. Like, he's easily the best part. Easily, like, literally, like, there's nothing more better in this movie than Ash. Like, he literally saves this whole movie. He literally makes this whole movie, actually. So yeah, and like the fact that he still has his chainsaw hand, and that he even gets a metal hand too, and like like that whole boomstick scene part, fucking iconic. Yeah, like, there are some great moments in here, but then there are also a little bit of cringy moments and a little bit of boring moments and very cheesy moments too. I mean, I get that that's kind of what this movie was going for, but it's just way too cheesy for me though, you know? Yeah, but what was I gonna say? But yeah, that whole scene in the pit was pretty cool, like where like they throw him the chainsaw and he puts it back in his chopped off hand, and then like he's defeating the deadites in there, and like even the spikes are closing in from the sides. Like, that scene was really dope actually. Like, I love that scene a lot. And then when he's out, he's like, do you want a little? Like, who wants more? Who wants more? Yeah, that was dope. And then he's even picking on a lot of the knights and all of that. And then he even lets the red dude go, like the redhead go. So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and then like, oh yeah, and I also really like that scene too, where they're in the castle, and then the old lady turns into a deadeye, and she's trying to kill her with the shotgun he has, and how everyone's praising Ash because like he has a shotgun and a chainsaw, and they didn't have that in the medieval times. Oh, and the medieval time setting in this movie was actually really cool. Like, I really dug the setting of the medieval times a lot, and yeah, I think like this movie, I would say, is like a lot more different than the first. 'Cause, like, this is the most different Evil Dead movie, because like it honestly doesn't really feel like Evil Dead much besides from the character of Ash. But like, yeah, to me it doesn't even feel like Evil Dead at all. Like, it feels like it's entirely own thing. So yeah, but this movie's not scary. Like, I understand like the first two were pretty scary, but this one just tries to be a comedy, and like the only scary part in this movie is legit just when all the blood comes out of the pit. You know, like all that the waterfall of blood comes out of the pit. And yeah, I think that's legit the only scary part of this movie. Other than that, everything else is just funny and quirky and you know like I mean corny and what else? And yeah, just funny and just wild. Just yeah. Let me think. Oh yeah, and Ash has some pretty cool one-liners in this movie. 'Cause, like his lines in this movie are really dope. Like you know, like there's only two things you're leading here: Jack and shit, and Jack just left town. And I love that scene where he at the end where he's like, "Hail to the king, baby," and then yeah, he has some really dope lines here. Like yeah, that's what makes this movie memorable is his lines and his personality. So yeah, and but he does have one cringy moment here, like one cringy line that always like gets me like that always makes me cringe every time I hear it. That's when he's kissing Sheila and he's like, "Give me some sugar, baby," and I'm like, yeah, it's a little cringy right there. Like no one says that. What was I gonna say? And then that whole scene where he's in that little shack, like that scene was just goofy as fuck. Where all the mini Ashes were trying to kill him, and like they hit him with a needle on his foot, and then like he even gets burned. And yeah, that whole scene's just goofy as fuck. One of the Ashes even go in his mouth, and then that makes the bad Ash and little goody two shoes. Oh, and this was another really dope line when Ash shoots evil Ash in the face, and he's like, "Good, bad, I'm the guy with the gun." Yeah, that was a dope line. And I've actually seen the director's cut of this movie too. Like I do like the original version better, but I do like a lot of the new scenes the director's cut has. I mean, it barely has any new scenes, but they're cool. But the director's cut, I just don't like the ending of the director's cut. That's why I say the theatrical version is better, because I love the ending in there a lot better. But I'll get to that later on. What was I gonna say? Oh, and when he gets the Necronomicon Klaatu Barada, yeah, that was funny. And then what else? Let me think. And then the whole skeletons rising up, like that was crazy, but it was over the top and crazy. But that was cool though. Like that whole like skeleton battle was really dope. Like it looked a lot like that one scene from the Lord of the Rings Two Towers. Yeah, like you know that one scene where they're fighting in the castle and they're throwing the arrows at them. I looked very similar to that. Yeah, Two Towers came out first. So I think Two Towers took inspiration from that, but it just looked very very similar though. What was I gonna say? Yeah, and then like Evil Ash, he was funny. Like Evil Ash was just funny as fuck. Like yeah, he was cool, and like that scene where he's like tally force and his jaw kept popping up. He's like tally tally oh oh and tally ho, like that scene was funny where Ash was swinging. And the sword fight he has with Evil Ash, and like when he even makes Evil Ash go up into the sky, you know what I mean. Yeah, and what else? And then Evil Sheila. Yeah, Evil Sheila was cool. I mean, yeah, that's another flaw I have with this movie is the romance between Ash and Sheila just feels very, very forced in there. Like, literally, it feels super forced in there, and like, there's not really much of a point to it in the movie. So yeah, and let me think. Anything else I should say? So yeah, this movie's only like 80 minutes, but the director's cut's like I think 97 minutes, I think. But yeah, but let me think. So it's really short. So there's not really much to talk about, and a lot of people say the fight in the end went on for too long, but I thought it went for the perfect runtime, and yeah, and the skeletons looked cool too, and let me think. And yeah, just the stuff like you know there was a lot of comedy there too, like the stuff the skeletons say and the stuff that Evil Ash says. Like it's all literally just comedy and action, and it's great. So. I mean, there are a little bit of parts in that battle that look a little fake, like, you know, when Evil Ash turns into a skeleton, that looks a little fake. And then when he gets home, and that whole scene in the pharmacy, that scene was fucking dope. Like, that was easily my favorite part of this movie, was the whole... No, it wasn't a pharmacy, it was S-Smart. Yeah, oh yeah, that was another cool line I like. Shop smart, shop S-Smart. And let me think. So that whole S-Mart scene was fucking awesome, where the old lady Deadeye showed up in the store, and there was a girl who was like, that story where you could have been king, I think it was really cute. And even Ted Raimi made a cameo in that scene. And then, so yeah, like, Like the old lady Deadites like attacking the people, and then Ash shoots her, and he's like, "Lady, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the store." She's like, "Who the hell are you?" And he's like, "Name's Ash Hardware." Yeah, that was. And then he was shooting her like he was literally like on the table, like he was swinging on the table, or no, sliding on the table. Yeah, he was sliding on the table while shooting at her, and then like she was jumping from the trampolines, and he was still shooting her from the air. And then he's like, "Sure, I could have stayed in the past. Probably might have even been king, but I guess in my own way, I am king." And then he kisses the girl. Hail to the king, baby. That is literally like one of the most satisfying endings I've ever seen. So yeah, I love that a lot. But yeah, this movie is good, but yeah, like I know I've been talking a lot of like positives and a lot of good stuff about it, but like the main reason why I don't like put this in like an A tier is because like it's just so drastically different from the first two, and like yeah, and it's some there are a little bit of scenes in the movie that are kind of boring, just a little bit, but like and then I like I said, there are some cringy moments, and yeah, Ash is the only good character because the rest of the other characters like King Arthur and Duke Henry the Red and all those other side characters, like they didn't really matter much. Like I didn't even give it two shits for them. So yeah, Ash was the literally the only character I cared for in this movie. Yeah. Like I said, he was easily the best character. Uh, Actually, he's easily the best character in this whole series, to be honest. So yeah. Uh, I guess that'll be the end of the review. To rate this movie, I think I would go for a B plus. Yeah, a B plus is accurate. So yeah, bye and see you all in the next review.